YouTube, it's Satch. Welcome to Driver 81. This is a 2018 Porsche Macan. It's a 400 brake horsepower monster. It's a twin turbo V6 3.6 litre engine. It'll do 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds, and I love this car. So I love this car, and most other Macan owners love their cars as well. However, there are a few reported issues and incidents whereby owners have not really been so happy with, not necessarily the service, but the actual car. And I've tracked down these owners. I've put down basically a post on Facebook reaching out to these customers who've owned Macans and still own Macans within the first few years and have actually had problems with these cars. So I'm going to talk you through some of the problems that customers have had. Now, I do want to point out that it's not me. I personally haven't had any problems with this Porsche Macan, partly because it's not mine and I haven't had it long enough. But there are guys out there who have very happily and very kindly shared their experiences. And one thing I want to say though is that this video is not in any way intended to shine a negative light on the actual car, because it's a great car. There's no doubting that it's a great car, but it doesn't matter what car you've got, there will always be some sort of fault in the car. It's just a thing that you can't get away from. So one of the first owner complaints, and one guy posted this, and then a lot of other people went on to like the post and also say, yes, I've got exactly the same problem, is that the parking sensors are extremely oversensitive. Whether you're quite far away from something at slow speeds, these sensors will always beep on to say that there is something nearby. Likewise, if you're standing in traffic jams, you will also get the parking sensors coming on. Now, I've had this car for a few days, and yes, I have experienced quite a bit of that. Maybe not as bad as people are making out online. Maybe that's something to do with the fact that this is a brand new car, and maybe a few software changes have been made because of customer feedback. I don't know. But yes, I certainly have noticed that the sensors do seem to be oversensitive, and it doesn't make for a great experience. Now, one thing that a few people have said is that Fords, the new Fords, apparently are triggering some of these sensors. So if you've got a Ford in front of you or a Ford behind you, the post didn't exactly say whether it was new Ford or old Ford or what kind of Ford. So I'm assuming it's the new Ford with the new systems installed that they have. So that's one of the first customer complaints, or it's not necessarily something that will break, but it's a complaint that customers have, and it maybe could be designed a little bit better, or maybe a software change or update is needed. Alright, the next post was a lady who commented saying that her Macan had an oil leak, and because of this leak it couldn't be fixed, so they had to have a full engine out, which actually cost $3,000 onwards dollars. Now, this lady didn't actually have to pay for this because it was under warranty, so that was quite good that she still had the warranty, I suppose. Otherwise you would have had to fork out an expensive bill just to repair an oil leak. Maybe they were just erring on the side of caution, and maybe they did this because it was under the warranty. Unfortunately, we didn't get any further information as to where the oil leak was coming from or what caused the oil leak. But it has happened to one, it may happen to others. Obviously, you don't want to be paying £3,000 for a leak, so if it's something that you're looking to buy, obviously, and maintain, or your car is still under warranty, make sure you check, get the engine covers off, check that there are no oil leaks, because the last thing you want to be doing is discovering an oil leak when it's too late and the car's out of warranty. Okay, next up is a complaint which has only been acknowledged by taller people. I'm 5'10", so it really doesn't apply to me. However, there's been a few posts by people saying, or people who are 6 foot and over, saying that the interior feels quite cramped. and that they have to rest their knees on really uncomfortable plastic parts. And I can see obviously that would be quite uncomfortable, having to put your knee on that all the time. Having to put your knee on this, well, that's leather, so in fact it doesn't seem too comfortable, in fact. So if you had to have your knees either side of here, yeah, I could see that would be a problem. A few people also commented that if you are 6 foot and you're driving the car, 6 foot plus, you can't put passengers in the back. So that obviously says a lot about the amount of rear leg room in the back. So just something to be aware of. If you're 6 foot, obviously, before you buy a car, go and test one and make sure you can try and fit people in the back as well. See how you get on. All right, one customer complained that he had a random suspension fault when the car was in sport mode. This owner had the car for, well, he'd driven it 6,000 miles, and that went into something to do with some pins somewhere along the line. You should be able to see the post on screen now. That went in for repairs, and obviously, well, we assume that the car was fixed by the dealer. That's the suspension related fault. Again, I don't know too much about that one. And a few other of the complaints, got a few written down here. So we've got oversensitive rear wipers, so I assume the wipers are coming on all the time. I've not experienced that at all. It's been raining here today and I've had no problems with any sensors of windscreen wipers. And we've got random tyre pressure warning messages. One customer did say that her car went back in for tyre pressure systems and they replaced the sensors inside the tyre. So I suspect if you're getting the tyre warnings or the tyre pressure warnings, it's something to do with the sensors inside the wheel. What else have we got? Sunroof never closes on the first try, so you have to try a few times to get the sunroof to actually close. One person mentions panoramic roof rattles. Well, this car, as I say, it's got 1,000 miles on it. No rattles at all, but things do have a way of working themselves loose after you've put a few thousand miles on it. So I'm not saying that it's not there, but it's just not there in this car. All right, and the last customer complaint was from a customer who complains of an airlock in the cooling system, new passenger airbag wiring due to a leak from windscreen, and also squeaking brakes. I had squeaking brakes in one of my 991 911s, and it was one of the most annoying things ever. Had it into the Porsche dealership, and even they said it's just the way the car is built. There is actually a video on YouTube explaining why the brakes squeal on new Porsche models, so it might be worth looking into. For me, I don't think it's acceptable. And that's it. Those are the faults that I've managed to come up with and that I've managed to find out about for the Porsche Macan. Obviously it's still early days, so within the next few years I'm sure there will be a lot more mechanical faults that will show themselves down the years, but you know, we're a few years into production now, and that's what we've got. Doesn't seem to be too bad or too horrific, if I'm too honest with you. A lot of smaller things and a lot of things that can be dealt with at the dealers. These things they're still going to be under warranty. But having said that, if there's something more dramatic and more drastic that I haven't perhaps covered, then please comment in the box below, and let's make this the #1 resource for Porsche Macan owners or people who are thinking about buying a Porsche Macan, to see whether they can live with any of the faults that are being explained or being mentioned or being reported. Overall though, this car is a fantastic car. I'm sure we all love these cars. That's probably why you're looking at this video, because you're thinking about buying one. So if this video can help you in any way, then great. I don't want it to put you off on buying a Porsche Macan, because as I say, all cars will have problems. Whether you're buying a Ford Focus, whether you're buying a Land Rover, Range Rover, a Mercedes, at the end of the day, at some point, you're going to find a fault in that car. So let's just hope the faults in these cars aren't too serious. So thanks for watching this video. I hope it's helped. I hope you've taken something from it. And if you could like the video, I'd really appreciate that. If you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, I'll be doing more videos on this Porsche Macan, or Macan as it's supposed to be pronounced. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.